As we enter a period of economic uncertainty, you will need a whole lot more empathy and creativity than you are demonstrating right now. Everything is breaking apart at the seams in our society, and life in America is set to shift in an irreparable way. You undoubtedly will deal with some issues yourself because the numbers I'm going to share with you today will astound you. American families are being ruined economically. Here are 3 signs you should be looking out for. This is Center of the Sun podcast. Between the international conflicts, a raging pandemic, and the complete erosion of character of the people in the United States, from my vantage point, a recession seems to be a near certainty. And the bad news is that recessions affect the public in a variety of ways. Today, I'm going to share with you the indicators of that looming recession and what you can do to prevent suffering in your family. But before we get into it, let's first define a recession. According to many economists, a recession is a period of lengthy slowing or significant reduction in economic activity that may last for months or even years. So what is the point of caring about a recession? Isn't this something that only politicians and economic experts should be concerned about? Well, during recessions, assets depreciate or they lose their value, businesses fail, and overall unemployment rises. So you better bet your ass that you'll feel it too at some point. In the past several months, the cost of heating our houses has skyrocketed. Many consumers in the United States were taken aback when they learned how much their monthly expenditures would rise. According to the U.S. Energy Information Administration, U.S. prices for retail gasoline will average about $3.84 per gallon this summer, April through September 2022, which would be up from $3.06 per gallon last summer and the highest price adjusted for inflation since the summer of 2014. This agency also stated that the price of heating your home will continue to be uncertain due to the following: uncertainty related to geopolitical developments between Russia and Ukraine, the way in which existing sanctions on Russia will affect its oil production, and potential additional U.S. and EU sanctions on Russia, the pace of oil demand growth in the summer, the volume of new crude oil production at current price levels, the potential of demand destruction because of high retail prices for petroleum products. Prices are growing at their fastest rate in decades, and the White House predicts that inflation will hit a 40-year high of 8.7% by the end of the year. I personally wouldn't be shocked if we surpassed 10%. Because according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, food prices alone are 8.6% higher than they were a year ago at the grocery store. And as the price of raising cattle continues to increase between 12% and 16%, these costs will be passed on to us. Beef is really the only sector of the food industry with price increases less than 10% right now. To put it another way, you'll be able to purchase less food for the same amount of money as prices continue to rise on a wide range of products. And it's a negative for big savers since rising inflation and low interest rates imply that your money has even less potential to grow. Inflation is often controlled by raising interest rates, which is excellent news for savers, but bad news for those who rely on real estate income for their mortgage payments. Higher interest rates may also have a negative impact on the housing market, slowing it down and stopping it altogether. First-time homebuyers may think this is wonderful news, but lenders tend to be more stringent during times of uncertainty. Just last month, the central banks across the world boosted interest rates for the 3rd time in a few months, with interest rates projected to climb more and more in the coming months. I don't believe that these increases in interest rates will be sufficient enough to counteract the current levels of inflation. A period of prolonged inflation may be on the horizon if interest rates aren't able to regulate some of the external causes, such as energy costs. As inflation and the cost